This is Thriving Thoughts, a podcast that teaches you how to change your thoughts so you can change your life. I'm Dr. Sherri, clinical psychologist turned thought coach. In each 5-minute episode of the Thriving Thoughts podcast, we will discover one lie we believe about ourselves, others, or the world that lures us into a surviving mindset. Then we'll learn the truth that leads us into a thriving thought world. And to bridge the gap between knowing and doing, I'll teach you one practical thought tool you can start to use right away. Consider me your personal thought coach, and each episode your personal thought coaching session. I want you to thrive, to grow, flourish, and prosper. And here's your first truth. If you want to thrive, you have to choose to do the work. The daily deliberate work of changing the way you think so you can change your life. Welcome to the Thriving Thoughts community. Let's get ready to speak truth over the lies so we can thrive in any and every circumstance. We are knee-deep in a self-empowerment culture, yet outward appearances suggest we're all in. Hashtags like self-empowerment, self-love, self-care, and love yourself are used in millions of posts every day on Instagram. But we've bought into some lies about empowerment that prevent us from fully experiencing what it really means. Those terms, self-empowerment, self-love, self-care, are all about the self, which isn't being selfish. It's just a matter of being aware of ourselves and the areas in which we can grow, flourish, and prosper. But we make a glaring misstep in the application of empowerment. We walk it out by being aware of and understanding others. Messages supposedly about empowerment focus on others. They remind us to say no to others, walk away from others, and my biggest pet peeve, how to identify another person as a narcissist. Merriam-Webster defines empowerment as the act or action of empowering someone or something, the granting of the power, right, or authority to perform various acts or duties, or the state of possessing power, right, or authority. When our focus is on others rather than ourselves, hint, the only person we control, we actually empower someone else to have authority over us. Their behavior becomes the thing we hinge our happiness, satisfaction, fulfillment, worth, and so on. We are unfortunately so deeply entrenched in the regular practice of disempowering ourselves and handing that power of our happiness over to others, we don't even see it. Our sense of control spirals to an all-time low right under our noses. Consider these examples. Someone doesn't introduce you, so you get irritated and think them rude. Worse yet, you feel hurt and unworthy. Please take my happiness. You pull up to the house after a long day of work and think they better have done all the chores I asked them to do or I'm going to be so ticked off. Again, please take my happiness. You asked someone not to call you after 9 and they still do, so you get angry with them. You wait to decide because you have to wait for someone else to make a decision first. Someone didn't follow through with their commitment, so you can't follow through with yours and now it's all their fault. Please take my happiness. And ultimately, we see this running rampantly today. Others who don't think or do like you think or do are the reason why your life can't be good. In every instance, we hinge our happiness on what someone else does or doesn't do, and we can't control any of it. We focus on others as a matter of habit and fail to see the daily opportunities we have to empower ourselves to choose happiness. You don't have to believe the lie that others' behaviors and choices prevent you from being happy. Viktor Frankl, a historic concentration camp prisoner and survivor, wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning, in which he described the power of the mind to interpret and adapt to any situation rather than surrendering control to it. He was starved and overworked. He watched as other prisoners wasted away or were marched off to gas chambers, and he chose to empower himself independent of others and his surroundings. He wrote, "The experiences of camp life show that man does have a choice of action. There were enough examples, often of a heroic nature, which proved that apathy could be overcome, irritability suppressed. Man can preserve a vestige of spiritual freedom, of independence of mind, even in such terrible conditions of psychic and physical stress. Most of us don't live under such psychic and physical stress inflicted upon us by others, nor are most of us held prisoner. But we do create such distress and create the attitude of a prisoner in our own minds by surrendering our happiness to others and to situations around us. But we don't have to. Rather than focusing on what others are or are not doing, what would happen if you focused on the truth that you are the only person you can control and you are the the only person who has authority over your happiness. Speak this truth to yourself. I have the power to choose happiness, and I have the power to give it away. Stop giving your power away. You are the ultimate authority of your happiness. Make the choice to exercise that authority in each moment. Share the love and share the show by tagging at Dr. Sherri Speaks on Instagram and using the hashtag Thriving Thoughts with Dr. Sherri. Until Sunday, remember to speak truth over the lies, and you will thrive in any and every circumstance.